Whether you're new to pool and practicing the basics, or a more experienced player performing drills to improve your shot making and positional play, the Drill Partner is perfect for you.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Dogging It, a little different this go around. So, been talking with my man Kevin Welling, who's been producing the film A Tale of Texas Pool, and luckily through our hectic schedules, we've been able to coordinate to debut the trailer here on Dogging It. So we really appreciate it, and I'm excited to see it. I know I've been watching the recording and filming of it over the last couple of years out at the Texas Open, and we're going to get a bunch of information from Kevin, including when the movie will be out, giveaway information that I'm hearing about, all kinds of fun stuff. But anyhow, before we bring him on, I want to show you guys the official trailer to A Tale of Texas Pool.
We do know that from the very founding of Texas, pool was here.
The Texas Open, we used to always get real fired up for it because everybody wanted to win Texas, you know.
You can feel the passion and the love for pool here.
We wanted people to be able to watch the show and be able to learn something about the game.
Should Bob Vanover be in the Hall of Fame?
Probably the best Texas player of all time.
It didn't matter what division they put in. He was going to win the tournament.
Had them glasses on, he'd go like that, and you knew you was in trouble.
Who do I hate playing? I hate playing Jeremy Jones. The guy beats me every single time.
I've always loved to gamble. You know, I like the competitiveness and chasing, you know, the big dollars.
In Europe, it's a little bit more like you want to show how good you are. In America, you try to hide your real speed a little bit to get more games.
I'm having to act like can't make a good bridge. I'm having to miss balls.
We had a guy come over every Sunday. We'd kick it off for 5, 10, or 20,000. We'd just kick it off at that.
I got staked by the cook there. Ted, he was the character in itself. I win, 5 out of 6 games, and Ted quits. He pulls me up. He had enough money to pay his rent.
He said, Fats, we didn't come over here to look at your scrapbook. We came over here to bust you.
So this guy said, show me some real gamble. Flip me a coin for 5,000. Tony says, you got it. I said, no. You know, like I was like, no way, because we're playing pool.
So David and I went on a road trip, went to the wrong state.
Pool is a wonderful sport because it's a mixture of grand accomplishments and myth-making and a little bit of bullshit and all the rest all sort of mixed up, and it makes a wonderful story.
I love the game so much, the thinking and all the conditions of play and all the variations of change, and it was just one of those games you never really can master, but it was really fun trying to do it.
Why did we play it? It wasn't for the money. Money? If I wanted money, I'd go get a job.
Well, I tell you what, if that doesn't get you fired up to want to sweat the movie, you better check your pulse, because that was a pretty awesome trailer. Let me bring in Kevin, who I asked him, how do I introduce him? And, you know, director, producer, and he just said all the above. So that's how I'm going to introduce him. Kevin Welling. Kevin, welcome to the show, buddy. How are you?
I'm good, Mike. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm actually feeling pretty good now after watching that trailer. Appreciate you for allowing us to debut it. It's been a long process for you. Give me some background into the film, Kevin, and maybe start off with what was the inspiration behind doing it.
Wow, the inspiration is pretty easy. So, you know, I have been in pool or around pool for, I don't know, since 1990 or so, 91, and got out of it for a little bit while I went back to school and whatnot, and got back involved a few years ago, and was sitting around Skinny Bob's, which used to be my pool hall, which was GQ Billiards before that, and talking to some of the old timers that were in there that the 50th anniversary of the Texas Open is coming up. You know, tell me some stories if you were there or whatnot. And so I had a couple of, Harvey Townsend, unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but I was sitting talking to Harvey about it. You know, he was there at the first ever Texas Open 50 years prior, right? And Bastrop was sitting there, and they all started telling all these great stories about all these old characters that were around back when the tournament started, and then started talking gambling stories and all these crazy antics that they used to get into and whatnot. And all I could think was, man, after these guys are gone, and after I'm gone, 20, 30, 50, 100 years from now, all these stories are going to be gone. Somebody should record these guys, and it kind of started the fire, and that got my brain going, and it morphed even more. And I started making a list of, if I was going to interview people, who all would I interview? And Buddy Hall came at the top of the list as people that had won the Texas Open before, that I, was a hero of mine, and seems like a great character to get on the film. And I heard that he was in bad health and whatnot, and I said, well, man, I need to hurry up and go. It'd be horrible if something would happen to Buddy and not be able to get his stories down. Definitely. So I got a film guy and a buddy of mine, and we loaded up the car and we drove to Illinois and got Buddy on tape, and I brought it back and showed some non-pool players, and all of them lit up, man, saying, if you could make a movie with nothing but charismatic people like this guy, I think you really got something here. So it really kind of took off from there and became, a full-fledged movie.
That's definitely something that I feel like this generation of players certainly missing, is that charisma and delivery that the previous generation had. And you can even hear it in the trailer when he's like, we just kicked it off at 5, 10, 20,000. And how can you not want to sit around and hear hear more of what he's about to go off on, because it's very genuine, but at the same time, it's like, it's that lore and that era of just great stories. And I'm with you. That's part of why, I love interviewing players, is just to get these details and little nuggets from them that people don't get to hear, but it's just normal to them. But to the outside world, or to casual pool fans, we want to hear more of this stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was, we went from there over to Nick Varner, since he was so close. And, Nick, everybody's questioning, hey, it's the tale of Texas pool. Why are you having a guy from Kentucky in your movie?
That was going to be my question, Kevin. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Well, Bob Vanover is a big part of, the Texas billiard history. I mean, not just the Texas Open, but Texas pool and Texas billiards and the culture, having won 9 Texas Opens and dominated Texas forever, dominated this, the Steve Miserak Senior Tour and whatnot. And talking through people that knew Bob, including Kathy, his widow, they brought up Ralph Eckert as one guy that spent a lot of time with Bob. Ralph used to come to Bob's house and stay for a month or two every summer and work out with him and practice. And same thing with Nick. They were really good friends and traveled all over Europe together. So I was looking for a perspective of somebody, number one, that knew Bob really well. Bob's no longer here to have him in the documentary. So I really needed to lean on people that knew Bob and hung out with Bob and could tell stories about Bob. And Nick gave great insight there, and also gave great insight when it came to, the culture of pool and the gambling and other stories that he could weigh in on as well. Right.
Maybe you can help some of our viewers, if maybe they don't know who Bob Vanover is, maybe kind of give a brief rundown of who he was to Texas pool. Well,
Bob is the everyman. I mean, Bob was a working guy. He worked his way up to be an executive at Haverty Furniture Company there in Dallas. And, he dominated the Texas Open. I think he's got 9 Texas Open titles, which is far and away. Nobody else has more than 3. And there's only 3 other players that have that. And he dominated.
To win.
I'm sorry?
It's a tough tournament to win, that's for sure.
And it's getting tougher and tougher, But Bob dominated the tournament. I mean, he set a world record. He broke and ran 9 racks in the finals. Steve Smith was his opponent, which, Lizard is in the movie quite a bit as well, giving his perspective on sitting in his chair and watching Bob ran run 9 racks and out in the finals.
I'm sure he loves reliving that story, by the way.
Oh, it's so that part of the movie, just every time I've watched this movie at least 100 times, doing all the editing and everything else, and every time that part comes up, it just brings me such joy.
Pool players, they never forget. Like they can remind you of the story and the situation like it was yesterday, and you literally see either the heartbreak or the joy in their eyes as they're describing it. It doesn't matter if it was 20 minutes ago or 20 years ago.
Yeah, for sure. And part of the movie as well is about what does it take to be a champion? Because I've got all these champion pool players that I'm interviewing, so
it's awesome.
It fits in great with the story towards the end. Kind of like what does it mean to be a champion, or what does it take to be a champion? And the answers are pretty consistent amongst all those guys. They have such belief in themselves is probably one of the top things, and I mean it really comes across the charisma and the confidence of all the people that are interviewed in the movie. So and Bob was one of those as well. He just had an extreme ability and extreme confidence in himself. And I mean, like I said, he just dominated Texas pool for so long.
How long have you been working on the film? And more importantly, when can fans expect it to be out?
Let's see. I started working on it probably end of May or June, a year and a half ago. And, it's going to be out on Christmas, man. Signed a deal with a distributor. It's the movie's been uploaded. The trailer's been uploaded. The distributor has everything. It's due out Christmas Day, 2024. It'll be on all the top streaming platforms. iTunes for sure, Google Play, Prime on Demand, and Xbox. And then probably Fandango, whatever they're called now. I know they merged with Vudu and some other stuff, but there's another, other streaming platforms will come beyond that. And then we're going to have it on the website on Vimeo. So it can have a little bit more of a global reach through that. But I mean, iTunes in and of itself, it'll be in 50 countries on Christmas Day when it comes out.
That's exciting stuff, man, for it to be available all over the world. And this is something that fans have been asking for some time. I mean, we're however many decades removed from, the most famous pool movie, The Color of Money, or one of anyway, and these little like gaffy movies that come out from time to time about pool. And so it's cool to take this perspective of, I'm going to talk to the players. I'm going to hear their story. And more importantly, man, you just get a feel for what was and what is. And that's something that I grabbed from watching that trailer just now.
Yeah. Having their stories. I mean, like I said, some of the non-pool players I've shown this to is they've all kind of had the same sentiment. Number one, how has nobody taken a bunch of old school pool hustlers and, pro pool players and made a movie out of them? Because by nature, pool hustlers have to be charismatic to get more games and drive action and whatnot. So naturally, these guys come across on the screen like you just can't keep your eyes off it. I mean, especially for non-pool players to tell me that, like they don't know who Buddy Hall is, or they don't know who Lizard is, or, Fedor Gorst or Jeremy or any of those guys. But man, when those guys come on the screen, they just pop off the screen to these people that don't even know who any of these characters are. So I'm excited to tell the story. It's been a great process. I didn't write a script. I didn't do anything. I started interviewing, and I let the story kind of come to me and come out of the words that these pool players have said on tape. So
I love that approach.
I didn't know what it was going to be when it started. Now, when I did show some non-pool players, I wanted to make sure that this had a global appeal. That's part of the greatness of The Color of Money, is that it really drove more people into playing pool and got people interested in pool by having non-pool players watch the movie and enjoy it. And that's what I really hope to get out of this as well. So I did show non-pool players, and, there was a lot of sentiment that at the first cut that, hey, this is great. These stories are interesting and they're funny and they're charismatic, but it's not really a movie. It's like this collection of stories. Like, what's the human element? What's the human story that's running through all this? And it just so happens that one of the main characters in the movie, his son, Junior, was a big pool player in Texas, and he's had some tragedy and had to overcome some stuff in his life. So, one of the main threads that goes through the movie to hopefully touch on those non-pool players to get into the movie even more is that comeback sports story that's there.
We all love that.
Yeah, so it's not just a pool movie, right? Like I keep telling people, it's a comeback sports movie. Like, we need to frame it that way, that it could be Rocky, it could be F1 racing, or it could be any kind of other sport. It's just a story told with billiards as its vehicle, but it's really a human story about what does it take to overcome, and what does it take to be a Texan, and how pool players and their attitudes and charisma and confidence in becoming a champion aligns with that Texas spirit of independence and confidence and swagger and everything else, that if you're going to be a champion pool player, you have to have all of those characteristics. And that's kind of all in a nutshell, what I hope to get across as the movie goes through and comes out.
Well, I'm excited to watch it, and I'm excited to tune in. I know it's been a lot of work for you over the last year and a half. I can tell by just the amount of faces I saw on the screen there. And I know if anyone knows how difficult it is to corral pool players, it's me, and coordinating with them and trying to get them all to, abide by a schedule and all these things. I feel those kinds of pains in my heart and in my soul. So I know this took a lot of effort for you to get everyone to sit down and tell their story and make time for you. And that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's been a labor of love. The hardest thing has been the ending and doing the closed captioning and some of the other technical stuff. But the interviews, I mean, that's been my career when I wasn't in pool, was, in product management. So I did a lot of interviews over my life. So I feel like my past has kind of led me down a path to create this. It's kind of a lifelong journey of skills, acquiring different skills to be able to do it, and all the connections in pool to come together in a confluence and make the movie. So hopefully it's something that has a lasting impact and drives more people to get involved in our great sport.
If y'all have any questions on how to stream it when it comes out, feel free to hit up the page. I'm sure is there a page for the movie as well, Kevin, that fans can go check out?
Yeah, so the Tale of Texas Pool is on Facebook. That's our primary social. And then there's a website, which is texaspoolmovie.com. They can hit us up on either of those. And that, we'll be doing, like you said at the intro, we'll be doing a lot of the contests coming up through our social. So you definitely want to be involved there as well.
That's what I wanted to ask you about as well, because I heard about a real nice giveaway you guys are going to be doing. Any insight you can share on that before we get you out of here?
Yeah. So, one of the things that we wanted to do to get the word out about the movie and not just do a standard, marketing trailer play out there, was to do something more like you see at tournaments and stuff, a raffle kind of approach, and wanted to get some prizes. So I was happy to get, some sponsors to put up some prizes. So we have Botango giving some cases, James Handshoe giving jump cues, Brutal Game Gear giving $40 gift certificates to their store to buy clothes and hats and whatnot. And Fort Worth Billiards giving a 9-foot Brunswick Centennial table.
That's a sexy table.
Prize. And then one of the things that's that we're going to give away as well, I've also been working, we've got the official movie poster that we've had signed by almost everybody in the movie. So if you're a fan of pool and, Nick Varner, Fedor Gorst, Sky Woodward, Tyler Steyer, like you name the people in the movie, we're getting them to sign this poster. We're going to give away those posters as part of the contest as well. We're calling it the 50K giveaway. Website details went up a little bit. I can't get into all the rules on how you can qualify to be in the drawing, but there will be free ways to get involved. Obviously, if you buy a DVD, which is now in pre-sale coming out for Christmas, so if you want to give somebody the DVD, you could go to TexasPoolMovie.com and buy that. That'll get you entries into the contest. Buying or renting the movie online will get you in there. Following the Facebook page gets you entries, and then there'll be free registrations on the website and whatnot. So the rules will come out here in a couple of weeks on all the different ways people can get an entry into that. And we're going to have 3 different drawings. So in November, towards the end of November, we're doing a drawing. End of December, we're doing a drawing. And then the end of February, we'll do more drawings and the grand prize of the pool table giveaway. So super excited to partner with great companies within the sport and be able to offer fans of the movie ways to win some prizes, along with hopefully enjoying the movie as it comes out.
Christmas Day, it's going to be released. We're going to end it here with another viewing of the trailer, and we'll have more details on the page as well. Kevin, we appreciate your time, brother, and we're going to get you guys out of here on checking out A Tale of Texas Pool.
We do know that from the very founding of Texas, pool was here.
The Texas Open, we used to always get real fired up for it because everybody wanted to win Texas, you know.
You can feel the passion and the love for pool here.
We wanted people to be able to watch the show and be able to learn something about the game.
Should Bob Vanover be in Hall of Fame?
Probably the best Texas player of all time.
It didn't matter what division they put in. He was going to win the tournament.
Had them glasses on, he'd go like that, and you knew you was in trouble.
Who do I hate playing? I hate playing Jeremy Jones. The guy beats me every single time.
I've always loved to gamble. You know, I like the competitiveness and chasing, you know, the big dollars.
In Europe, it's a little bit more like you want to show how good you are. In America, you try to hide your real speed a little bit to get more games.
I'm having to act like can't make a good bridge. I'm having to miss bowls.
We had a guy come over every Sunday. We'd kick it off for 5, 10, or 20,000. We'd just kick it off at that.
I got staked by the cook there. Ted, he was the character in itself. I win, 5 out of 6 games, and Ted quits. He pulls me up. He had enough money to pay his rent.
He said, Fats, we didn't come over here to look at your scrapbook. We came over here to bust you.
So this guy said, show me some real gamble. Flip me a coin for 5,000. Tony says, you got it. I said, no. You know, like I was like, no way, because we're playing pool.
So David and I went on a road trip, went to the wrong state.
Pool is a wonderful sport because it's a mixture of grand accomplishments and myth-making and a little bit of bullshit and all the rest all sort of mixed up, and it makes a wonderful story.
I love the game so much, the thinking and all the conditions of play and all the variations of change, and it was just one of those games you never really can master, but it was really fun trying to do it.
Why did we play it? It wasn't for the money. Money? If I wanted money, I'd go get a job.